gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. All right, NFL Week 11. Yes, I know it's Thursday. I know it's the morning of the first game. Life happens. It's been a struggle this week. Things have happened. Here I am on Thursday doing a Week 11 NFL video. So Week 10, I went 9-5 and win-loss, 7-7 against the spread, and 6-8 on the over/under. Year-to-date, 87, 59-2 on the win-loss, against the spread, 65-83, and over/under 84-64. All right, so we have some big games this week. Thursday night, we have the Green Bay Packers 4-1 versus the 4-5 Seattle Seahawks. Seattle's favored by 2.5 at home. Yeah, I will take the Seahawks to win. I got them covering that 2.5, and then I'm taking under on the 49.5. Next, we have the Dallas Cowboys and the Atlanta Falcons. Both teams are 4-5. Falcons are favored at home by 3.5. I got them winning, covering, and over on the 48.5. Next, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers 6-1 versus the Jacksonville Jaguars 3-6. And as we all know, we will not have Le'Veon Bell playing in 2018. His career as a Steeler is pretty much done. So my Week 1 day of Thursday game pickup of James Conner's been my star this year. Yeah, I was able to pick him up in my fantasy football league the day of the first game of the season, and he was out there when Le'Veon wasn't going to play. I'm like, wonder who their backup is. Wonder who this guy is. Yeah. So yeah, I'm playing heavily on Big Ben doing well this week, James Conner doing well, and the Pittsburgh defense against the 3-6 Jacksonville disappointment Jaguars. Is it the coaching staff? Is it Blake Bortles? What is going on in Jacksonville? Steelers favored by 6. I've been winning, covering, over on the 47.5. This game could be 47-0 as far as I'm concerned, because I need the fantasy points. I lost by 4 points last week because I picked St. Louis's defense versus Seattle. I thought it would be better than Pittsburgh's defense versus Carolina. Boy, was I wrong. Next, we have the 3-6 Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the 2-7 New York Giants. The Giants got to be careful. They got 2 wins now, and there's a couple teams here with two wins. Arizona's got 2 wins. Who else had 2 wins? I guess the Giants and Arizona. So yeah, they're like 3rd right now when it comes to the draft pick for next year. So they need to be careful not to win anymore. They need to try to lose so they get a higher draft pick. I actually got the Giants are favored at home by 1.5. I'm taking the Buccaneers. I'll give them the 1.5. I then winning, covering, and over on the 52. Next, we have a battle of 6-3 AFC versus NFC. Houston Texans and the Washington Redskins. Texans are favored by 3 on the road. I have them winning, covering, and over on the 42.5. Next, we have the 5-4 Tennessee Titans versus the 4-5 Indianapolis Colts. Colts are favored by 2 at home. I'm liking the way that the Titans have played a little bit this year. I'm giving the 2 points to the Titans. I get them winning, covering, and under on the 48.5. Next, we have Cincinnati Bengals 5-4 versus the Baltimore Ravens 4-5. I was able to find a line for this at 3.5. Baltimore minus 3.5. But with the talk of, we don't know if Flacco's playing, Harbaugh's job is on the line. I couldn't find an over-under, so I created an over-under based on what both teams have scored this year. So I have an over-under of 49. I am taking the Bengals to win. I'm giving them the 3.5. They'll cover that. And I'm taking over on the 49. I think Lamar Jackson gets his first NFL start. I think Lamar Jackson will be the Pat Mahomes of next year. I think maybe Lamar will get 1 or 2 starts this year, kind of like Mahomes got 1 start last year. Next year, it's going to be Lamar Jackson's team. Flacco will be elsewhere. Bengals win, cover 3.5, over on the 49. Next, the Carolina Panthers 6-3 versus the 3-6 Detroit Lions. Carolina's favored by 4. Got them winning, covering, and over on the 51. The Denver Broncos 3-6. Wow, that's a shocker. Is it the quarterback? Is it? I thought John Elway was this great quarterback whisperer. What happened? Did he forget? Does he not talk to these quarterbacks? Does he not know how to rate a quarterback? Because wasn't he one of the greatest quarterbacks in the history of quarterbacks? Well, he did draft Tim Tebow in the first round. Tebow won a playoff game. Maybe they should call Tebow to come do a quarterback for him. Versus the LA Chargers, 7-2. I know there was some rumors there, especially on the St. Louis radio waves, of talk of NFL wanting the Chargers in St. Louis. Because St. Louis has a lawsuit against the NFL for the Rams moving. Yeah. And obviously in Inglewood or wherever the hell the Chargers Stadium is, where the Chargers are playing, nobody's showing up for these games, and they're actually a good team. Chargers are favored by 7. I got them winning, covering, and over on the 46.5. Next, we got the 1-8 Oakland Raiders versus the 2-7 Arizona Cardinals. Wow. Why would Oakland even try at this point? They're the only team with one loss. Just say fuck it and take the number 1 draft pick and call it good. Arizona favored by 4, then winning, covering, and under on the 40.5. Next, we have the Philadelphia Eagles 4-5 versus the New Orleans Saints 8-1. Saints are favored by 9. I got them winning, covering, and over on the 55. And then Sunday night, we have the 5-3-1 Minnesota Vikings going into Chicago versus the 6-3 Chicago Bears. Mitchell Trubisky. He's actually been playing really well lately. He's been putting up some fantasy points. Actually had the Bears upsetting the Vikings. Sorry, Gio. And covering the 2.5 for the Bears and over on the 45. And on Monday Night Football, I know the line has changed from what I have probably written here multiple times. I know it had went down or went up, I think at one point. Once they announced the game was not going to be played in Mexico City because of field conditions, NFL thought that was a good idea to have it in Mexico City to start out with. Really? And we've known there's a hurricane that went through that area a month or so ago. So didn't we know since then that this is the problem, this game might get moved? So it did get moved to LA. 9-1 Kansas City Chiefs taking on the 9-1 Los Angeles Rams. The line I have down is Rams by 3.5. I think it's either 3 or 4 right now. I was over under 63.5. That's a Big 12 freaking point spread. Wow. 2 of the most dynamic offenses in the NFL today. 9-1. Whatever team loses this game, does it really hurt them? I think it would hurt the Rams more than it would hurt the Chiefs. And I say that because you got the New Orleans Saints sitting there at 8-1. And if they win, they go to 9-1. Rams lose, they go to 9-2. Rams have a bye next week. So you're either going to be, possibly if you lose a game behind the Saints and the Saints hold the tiebreaker. If you win and the Saints win, you're still tied if the Saints hold the tiebreaker. So you need a game on the Saints in order to have home field advantage and in order to have the NFC Championship game in LA and not have to go to New Orleans. Because we know the Rams did New Orleans. For the Chiefs, they're 9-1. See, Steelers got 2 losses, but they have a tie. I think the Patriots have 2 losses. They're on a bye this week. So I think the Chiefs, I think they're better suited if they do lose this game when it comes to playoffs and number 1, number 2 seeding. Because I think, no, New England beat Kansas City, so New England owns the tiebreaker over Kansas City. So then, yeah. So Kansas City needs this game just as bad as the Rams do. With all that said, Todd Gurley, Jared Goff, that explosive Rams offense versus Pat Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Kareem Hunt. whoever the wide receivers. Both teams have. They don't have that number one dynamic wide receiver like, oh my God, a Randy Moss. Oh my God, a T.O. Oh my God, Antonio Brown. Oh my God, DeAndre Hopkins. Neither teams have that. I mean, the Rams have Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp. I think Kupp's out. Chiefs have Sammy Watkins, who's been kind of hurt and hobbled. So both of these are doing it with a running game and a young quarterback that has talent. I'm taking the Kansas City Chiefs. I see the Chiefs going into LA. Now LA, with Mexico. Going into LA, it's going to be kind of like the Chiefs and Patriots kind of game. It's going to be both teams maybe in the high 30s, upper 40s. That's 63.5. I'm going on the over. Taking it up. I'm going over. Over 63.5. And I got the Chiefs winning. I am having the Chiefs cover the 3.5. I'm giving it to them. So I got the Chiefs winning. Chiefs covering at 3.5. And over on the 63.5. So fantasy owners, this here could be a game for you.